In today's video, y'all, we are taking on Warhammer's hardest challenge. Again, just to remind y'all, we are a small channel. Subscribing and liking the video helps the channel out immensely, and I thank y'all for the support. If you like this type of video more than the last one in the series, please let me know. Let me know which one you like more, than the narration like in this video or the more raw gameplay with the commentary as I'm playing the game, like in the last video. Let me know down below. And without further ado, here's the next challenge of it in the series. Thank you all. Welcome to the hardest survival challenge in Total Warhammer 3. And no, it's not one made by any other YouTuber to my knowledge or developer. This one is of my own creation. Here's the challenge. Starts off with a legendary campaign difficulty, very hard difficulty when it comes to the battle difficulty. I can only control one settlement at a time. At turn 10, I must declare war on every single faction I can see in the diplomacy screen. I can have no allies after that point, no treaties, no second chances. It's basically Iron Man mode from Hoi 4 if you know that game. Last time I tried this with Ungrim Iron Fist and got folded like a lawn chair by turn 15. This time, however, I did my homework. I scouted the first 10 turns, I practiced the early fights, and I convinced myself I knew what I was doing. In today's video, we are playing, of course, as Festus. This is the story of how I tried to survive 100 turns in a world that really didn't want me to. Day 1, or turn 1, I should say, I marched Festus down into some poor soul's territory and attacked him. Well, simply put it, we were already at war. For the record, I didn't mean to fight the battle manually, but I accidentally clicked fight instead of auto resolve, and I immediately said, oh fuck. Still won the battle though, decisive victory. Maybe I do know what I'm doing when it comes to battle strategy, unlike in the last video. Maybe we improved, folks. The early goals were simple. We were meant to stack favor, focus on growth buildings, and pray to Nurgle that we would get enough money to upgrade all our buildings that we needed. By turn 3, I already started overthinking my building orders like I was solving a math equation. I kept switching between growth and haunted towers like I was indecisive in a Build-A-Bear. Festus is tanky, but he moves like molasses. Still, we cleared the nearby settlements, leveled up, and didn't lose too many units. And that's a win in my book. This is where the prep really matters. I built the brass keep like it was my fortress of solitude, growth buildings in order to increase the main building level, growth buildings, plague stables, the works. My goal was simple: tier 3 before turn 10, or we'd be cooked before dessert. Festus and friends leveled up steadily. I stacked region like it was a fashion trend. Of course, I'm playing Nurgle. Then turn 10 came. I opened the diplomacy tab and I hit declare war on every faction, like I was sending mass texts to my exes. Reichland declared. Wood Elves declared. Empire factions I hadn't seen yet declared. It was beautiful and horrifying. Now turns 11 through 15. This is where we entered the meat grinder. Now that everyone hated me, I had to shift my focus. I couldn't expand, I couldn't trade, I couldn't breathe near another city without turning it into a pile of goop and sadness. However, my strategy was to raise everything I could, take the favor, and leave nothing behind. I'm basically trying to be a medieval Thanos. This is also where I started messing up with tech, unlocking growth bonuses, maximizing defenses, and wondering if aspiring champions were just diet chosen. Spoiler alert, they aren't. A few battles later, it went surprisingly well. The legendary AI still suicides into my city sometimes, which is great for me as I used siege to force the enemy to come to me, which of course made them even more killable than they already were and made me look way smarter than I actually am. Again, folks, I'm not by any means good at this game, even though I try my best to be. Turn 16 through 20, things got quiet, which is never good. I had money, I had a full stack, I had stability. But this game doesn't let you stay stable for long. I caught myself getting too cocky. I started thinking, maybe this challenge isn't so bad. And then I saw Reichland. And then again, I saw Norska. And then I saw 3 separate 20 stacks heading in my direction like I owed them money. Turns 21 through 30. Reichland didn't even knock. They just showed up and started slapping walls. I held them off. Once, then twice, then I started to sweat. Festus was doing his job, but it was clear we were being outproduced. Their stacks looked like factories. Mine looked like some weird science project. I even unlocked the Chosen of Nurgle, big, beefy, slow boys that hit like trucks and move like cement trucks. They're kind of like the immovable wall. But I needed time to scale, and time was not something the Empire was going to give me freely. And this is where I lack the knowledge to actually play this faction to any high degree. I don't understand how to recruit units faster than what I did, and please let me know down below how I can, so in the future I can improve. Turns 31 through 40, mistakes were made. Turn 35, I made a fatal mistake. I moved Festus out of the city to raid because I was greedy. And then bam, ambushed. He died. Festus, my immortal, rotting, goo-filled boy, was dead. I spiraled and built a second army, traded a bunch of crap tier units, tried to pretend it was all part of the plan. Well, it was not part of the plan. Worse, heroes started popping up and assassinating my actual heroes. Like they were bounty hunters in a cutscene. Still, we survived, but barely. By turn 40, my economy looked okay. My city was tier 4, and I had some chosen back in the roster, but the pressure was unrelenting. And this is truly what makes the challenge hard, is you cannot make a mistake. Again, there are no saves. This is equivalent to Iron Man mode and Hoi 4. Turns 41 through 50. The breaking point. This is when it got bad. 3 full stacks, siege weapons, legendary lords, and me. I had Festus again, sure, but he was resurrected through chaos, necromancy, but no real elite stack yet. I was holding out by the skin of my boils, pun intended. Attrition wore us down. Enemy heroes kept poking my dudes to death. It was really annoying. This is probably the most annoying thing about legendary difficulty, is the fact that they use heroes to such a good degree, and they always work against my heroes. I don't understand it. Every time I built something, another Empire faction tried to knock it over, mainly Reichland. Then Elsbeth joined the mix. Then I lost a city fight. Then I lost my hero. Then I looked at my garrison and realized we're defending with 41 units against 49 units, which normally isn't bad, but these weren't goblins. They were knights, archers, artillery, and I was Festus, stuck in melee range, moving like a brick. I was literally the immovable wall, the meme. Except I wasn't fighting an immovable object. I was fighting a tank. So I was going to lose, no matter what. We're halfway there. Festus has died, been reborn. The Empire has bled, but I'm still here. I turned 51. I was alive, but barely. Festus has already died once. For a Nurgle lord, that is saying a lot, but I was rebuilding. I had Chaos Knights, Chosen of Nurgle, and even some Rot Knights. I looked at my elite stack and thought, okay, maybe I can do this. The plan, classic hammer and anvil. Anvil being the Chosen and the hammers being the horses covered in boils. I was feeling hopeful, and that was my first mistake. This was probably the most dangerous part of the run, not because of the battles, but because I got uncomfortable. Or I got too comfortable, to say the least. Empire stacks started backing off, Norska slowed down. I thought I had breathing room, but I was wrong. I stretched out, tried to raid, tried to build 2 armies. I split Festus off. Then out of nowhere, a full ambush, 3 stacks. Festus gets caught out in the open, and he's dead once again. I tried to salvage it with a backup army, but it just wasn't the same. Festus was the backbone, and now that spine was mush. I lost all my good units, and re-recruiting those would take forever. At this point, I was feeling really doubtful about the run, and I was getting insanely salty. I was losing units to ambushes, lords to hero actions, sanity to artillery, but I at least tried to hold the city. I tried to bait the AI into bad fights, but they kept bringing more attrition, started stacking on both my armies and their armies. But everyone drained me more, but it drained them as well. But it drained me more than it did them because they're legendary AI and they just have mega cheats. I was down to scraping together meat shields and Manticore Bay just to survive the turn 83. The turn I lost everything I built in the last 82 turns. Gone. One mistake, one raid too deep, one siege too long, and suddenly I was the weakest faction on the map. The Empire was still sending an elite cav handgunners. Meanwhile, I had nothing. I was trying to build crap stacks just to fill stacks. No aspiring champions, and I was just crossing my fingers that they wouldn't attack. I had no Festus, one hero, basically no income that I could actually do anything with, but I kept trying. Every turn was now survival horror. I watched the AI burn through ammo on my walls. They sieged. I tried to bait the heroes, and then the final blow. Festus was caught out again. Dead. Gone. No second army to defend. Somewhere around, I got triple stacked on one siege, then another, then a surprise army I couldn't even see because of the fog of war. I had a level 5 city chosen with buffs, but none of it mattered. There were too many. The final battle, absolute chaos. Heroes got sniped, walls got smashed. My chosen got bombarded. I tried cheesing the game, but it didn't work. I'm not the Legend of Total War. I'm just not him, I guess. He probably could have pulled it off. I couldn't. Heroes got sniped, walls got smashed. My chosen got bombarded into plague of pudding. Festus wasn't even alive to see his empire crumble. The brass cube failed, and of course, the challenge failed. I didn't survive 100 turns. I made it to the brink. I held the line. I tried to rebuild, but I fumbled the bag and then lost it all in a cascade of mistakes. Sieges and overconfidence were to blame, but damn, it was fun. This challenge is pure pain, and I highly recommend it. Again, if you want to try it, here are the rules. 1 settlement, declare war on everybody by turn 10. No allies, no peace. After this, it has to be legendary difficulty and hard battle difficulty, and the will to suffer. That is what you need. Let me know who I should try next. Maybe Gorst, maybe somebody even worse. But until next time, have a great day. Peace out.